now, buddy. Ooh. Ooh, we're going in the tree. We're going in the tree. Yeah. Yeah. So what I'm doing here, because this guy gets lazy when we play, is I'm going to use a little bit of environmental stress just to get him a counter or to fight. Right now he's, oh, there we go. Good boy. So I'm teaching him to pull. Oh, good boy. And by doing this, teaching him to pull, his bite actually gets stronger. Because in order for him to not lose the toy, he's got to grip down hard, which is good for exercising those jaw muscles. And again, we're using environmental stress. Oh, oh, whoa, good boy. Carry. We'll do a little carry. I believe we were showing you some of that in our other video on how to promote the fighting drive or countering behavior using some environmental stress. So we're out here just playing. And even in play, I don't want my dog to be too complacent, too lazy. So from time to time, I will do things like that. Put him into situations where he's not comfortable. Obviously with the tree and the branches, he doesn't like it, so he pulls away, which promotes the fighting. Every time he pumps back or he fights, you gotta give. Ah! And then you pull back again. It's like tug of war. That's all it is. And like I said, what it is when that dog starts to pull back, the grip actually becomes really strong. Why? Because remember, I'm adding force this way, and in order for him to not lose it, he's got to really clamp down. So it really helps to work a lot of the jaw muscles. So this way now, on the sleeve or the suit, you're going to get a much stronger bite from the dog. And like I said, some dogs will counter this way. You can develop jaw strength that way as well, but I find this way, where they're pulling back, you get a lot more for your money. Sometimes we'll even have the tug folded, and I might be on a chair, on a chair, and I'll have him suspended from the ground. And now the dog literally has to boom, boom, boom in order to win. He's got to pull. And that, again, is another way of really developing those jaw muscles. Oh, let's go again. Oh, oh. Yeah, I'm going to go by the sewer grate. Oh, let's see how you deal with this. Yeah, oh, yeah. Here we go. Oh, there we go. See if you like the sewer grate. Oh, you don't mind, eh? You're so confident. Look at you. Let's go back by the tree. We're gonna go back by the tree because you're getting lazy again. Oh, now he's putting the pressure on. Here we go. We're going into the tree. Oh, and I'm gonna lock it right there. Oh, good boy. Good job, Carrie. Boy, buddy. Nice. I thought the sewer grate would have bothered him. Not so much. But yeah, you get creative. So tree, sewer grate, maybe even the garbage cans, you pull them in towards it. And most dogs, they don't like that, so they're gonna pull away naturally. And then like I said, you're gonna get a little bit more bang for your buck. And that's just through play. It's nothing really formal, we're just playing. But it's rough housing. And it has a carryover effect into your protection training later on, where again, you can get your decoy to do the same thing. The only difference is they're using a sleeve or a suit, and it's called environmental stress. Now there are other ways the decoy can do it. The decoy could have the stick and lightly brush the chest of the dog or the legs. Oh yeah, the dog. Let's see. Oh, there we go. You don't like that. Sometimes I'll have my decoy come and give a little pinch as they're fighting. So this way now the dog's gonna try and pull away from all that pressure. Oh, let's see if it'll work. Oh, there you go. Oh, there we go again. Oh, good boy. And every time he gives me a little bit, I give him a little bit. Oh, give that little pinch. Oh, good boy. Sit. Good job, buddy. Yeah, so you just have to get a little creative with your dog. And believe me, they love it. It's fun for them. Because after a while, keep in mind, Big Flex is what, 7 years of age? So he's been doing protection most of his life. So now we got to keep it interesting for him, even in the play. So by doing things like that, it's not going to harm the relationship, provided I don't get crazy with the pressure, meaning that it's fun pressure. It's like you ever look at a litter of puppies when they're playing? They're barking, biting, nipping, shaking. That's all play aggression, we call it. So it's the same concept. When I'm working with my dog, yeah, oh, a little bit of play aggression, yeah, give it a little tap, yeah, there we go. Oh, yeah, oh, Good boy. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that boy. Yeah, yeah. Good job. And I'm praising him the whole time. So for him, it's not a case of life or death where he's fighting for his life. He's just having fun. And then eventually with the decoy, he's going to view it the same way. Now, the difference is the decoy can actually put a little bit more pressure on him because he's the bad guy. But the beauty of it is when you play like this, for the dog that's at this level, fighting with a bad guy is not an issue. The dog's comfortable engaging with, again, rough people. Right, buddy? I hope you liked the video. Hope it was informative. If so, don't forget, thumbs up. Please subscribe to our channel. So this way now, when we get new videos, you'll be notified. And then also, I have my new book, Instinct to Excellence. You might want to check that out as well. It's on our website and eventually YouTube. With that said, guys, take care. Ciao, buddy.